All righty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, let's get into some TA. All right, so as you can see, I got the drawings turned off. We're going to start off over here on SPY, and I'm just going to say, guys, downside is limited from this point in time. We have a bunch of charts just suggesting we probably aren't going to be going much lower. Not saying we're not going lower from here. I'm just saying much lower. No. Okay. With all likelihood. Okay. Odds are favoring limited downside and then bounce. So let's go over why. But first, I'm going to point out why things look like we definitely can spill over a little bit more. Maybe that happens tomorrow. I'm really not sure. You do have a bunch of tickers sitting right underneath their daily nines, and you came back to test them, and you are getting the second day of rejection. We have this look across the board, and this is just looking weak in my personal opinion. This is, something I always remind you guys. When you get underneath this guy, you come back to test it, expect the sellers there. When you get above it and you come back to test it, expect the buyers there. Doesn't mean, that's the bottom before another leg up over here. It just means you're expecting a reaction there, just like we're expecting the reaction right here. And so far, bulls just are not able to reclaim what they have to right away, which does open the door to some more downside. Now, I'm also going to point out here on the 15-minute time frame, come over here, just some intraday analysis here, okay? So, guys, all right, we have this big 570.93 spot. If you could break out this downtrend, get a 15-minute close above it, we probably are going to push up here. All right. But then again, we have been in a complete clown market, and it's honestly getting annoying that we cannot just come down here. I want to get this pullback over with. We very clearly could see buyers are down here because now we have like 4, 5, occurrences here where price got pretty close within like $1. All right. Within $1.50, we'll call it. And then you started getting your bounce. All right. Now, the fact that you broke underneath the 0.786 fib right here came within like 30 cents of this low over here. Pisses me off. We are definitely in a frustrating market that is just taking its dear sweet time. And this is what I was saying on this pullback. People are going to lose their minds. Imagine if it does this, it goes like that, and then it goes like that. People would lose their freaking minds. All right. So, I'm in favor of that scenario just because of how I think things are set up. And I'll go over that in this video. Okay. Now, SPY, I do think you're coming down here to 565.16. I think you have absolutely no reason to rally from here. And I think you are looking rather weak. And we definitely can, see that demand over here is just being chipped away at. At one point, we're going to actually see price come down here. Right. So that's, right off the bat, that's what I want to point out. On the 15-minute time frame, as I pointed out, we have this downtrend. If you break the downtrend, you're probably going to run up to the next point of resistance. And at that point, I think you'll probably run up to the 0.618 fib, which is at 570.93. That also aligns with the high of day over here. And yeah. All right. Well, not high of day because high of day was way over here. All right. But you have this high over here at 570.93. So that's what we will pay attention to if you are to break out of the downtrend. But for the time being, see how you have a lower high right here and fall by a lower low. Bulls are not in control right now. Bears are literally just whittling away at this, all of these buy orders down here. And that's how I'm seeing this. Come over to QQQ. All right. And you got a little bit more clean price action. This is why I like the NASDAQ over the S&P 500. It's just, I have grown accustomed to charting and trading this. So that is that. Okay. You got the same exact downtrend going. Well, it's not the same one. All right. It's a little better over there, a little bigger. You got this downtrend over here. You have not been able to break above it, which, in reality, it is more like something like that. All right. You get a touch point, touch point, touch point. Okay. If you could break above it, we're still just going to be looking for sellers up here. But you know what? We'll just put that back up there. Okay. Break out of that big downtrend, solid shot, you start making your way up there. All right. And, I'm just going to say current price action is pretty conflicting on these daily charts. Everything is kind of mixed over here. But I will say, all right, we either, have had the bottom and we're about to rally. This is just my opinion. We've either had the bottom, we're about to rally. It's just taking its dear sweet time. Or we're going to see a swift move down, followed by a recovery, and then we rally from there. You want me to show you why? Okay, we'll just cut forward. Okay, guys, so QQQ, I'm going to finish off with, support and resistance right here, guys. We're watching this golden pocket. You're watching this over here, okay? If you just took this from over here, this is, what I included in the morning brief today. We were watching sellers step in this golden pocket, buyers step in over in this golden pocket. We got both reactions today. So that is that. Now, I'm just going to take this one off, and I'm going to say right here, you break under here, you're probably going to, probably going to sweep these lows. But that's not important. I think the important thing to talk about right now is how we're seeing everything shape up. Okay, so we're going to put on extended hours here. We're going to put on Microsoft. All right, 4-hour RSI is oversold. You can clear as day see price is at the perfect spot right now. You're at the 0.618 fib. Right below, you have the breakout level we were paying attention to here at 413.10. We're saying if you lost 425.86 over here, you probably are just going to come down to the 0.618 fib. You had a straight flush down there, and now it is time for buyers to likely start stepping in. All right, I do want to point out you got declining volume on yesterday's candlestick, and we'll see how today's prints. All right, ideally we get a hammer candlestick or a doji candlestick popping up down here, but as you could see last time, it looked pretty bleak right before it took off. But what I want to point out is on the 4-hour time frame, right? We have the 4-hour RSI already oversold, okay? And I am just going to say this thing looks like it could get explosive. I know it's been the weakest of the bunch, but it definitely could get explosive. So we got that guy. What else do we have? Amazon's 4-hour RSI is in oversold territory. Where is Amazon? Amazon is at the perfect spot. This is literally the buy zone we mentioned in the weekly update. 182.39 down to 178.90. 178.90 is this level right over here, the high of day from over here, and it aligns perfectly with that 0.618 fib. So in between 178.90 and 182.39, we're looking for buyers to start stepping in. We have had buyers starting to step in. We're going to have to see what happens from here. But I definitely want to point out 4-hour RSI has now been oversold since Monday. Okay, so chances are this thing's probably going to start getting buyers down here. Okay, you want to see something else? We're going to go over to Tesla. All right, and this is actually why I just decided I'm going to make the video for today. I'm going to get that out of the way because you know what? I see some things in these charts that are giving some clues, and I think they're going to lead us to the promised land. All right. Doesn't have to end up like that, but let's just go into it, all right? You're coming back in that big 233.09 spot. Why is that so big? That is the inverse head and shoulders neckline. You have a left shoulder, you have a right shoulder, you have a head. This is your neckline. You are coming back into that. That already gave you a pretty massive move there. But, if you're just to take, measure move, you could do a sloppy version of it right there. We have not gotten that move. We also did not get up to 271, which was extremely likely once we got past it on this day right here. We got past the 0.618 or the 0.786 fib. I believe it was that day. Nope, it was this day right here, all right? And from that point on, the move up here became likely. Well, what happened, guys? Price pulled back before that, which we mentioned. If it did pull back before that into this spot, it would be the buying opportunity for that move up to 271. We said this all in advance. And now price action is now, doing what we were saying in advance. So it's time to remember what we said in advance. And this was going to be the buying opportunity. This pullback is a buying opportunity. It's very clear. Okay, I don't think we're starting a new wave down. You're going to need to really damage this chart and get underneath here. You're either going to have to do something like this here. All right, lower high followed by the lower low. And then you don't have to worry about that. Or to get bearish from this, you have to see a really big freaking sell. All right, and that would be that. Okay, and then you have a head and shoulders pattern. Those are the two bearish scenarios. But, I'm expecting bulls to start stepping in right around here. You're right on the uptrend, right on that break and retest, like right below. And, 4-hour RSI is oversold. Chances are we do catch a bid from here. Okay? So that is how that's looking. You want to come over to NVDA. How's NVDA looking? Just broke up from that bull flag. We know we have, a crap ton of demand over here for their new chip. Well, guess what? That is something we didn't know before and we were uncertain about. And now the market is like, oh, let's break it out of this bull flag. It's probably going to keep running up, guys, all right? 122.44, that was the level we needed to break over here, all right? From that point, we have 127.67 on the table. If you finally could break above 127.67, that's when you finally don't have a lower high, all right? So, things are definitely at a pivotal point right now. Things are looking pretty juicy. This is definitely a bullish chart. You got the inverse head and shoulders pattern. You have price, literally breaking up from a bull flag right here. You have this pennant with 3 touch points to the upside. Buyers want it more than the sellers here. So, I'm putting, clues together here. I'm saying, hey, these are, the top traded components of the indices here. And I doubt they're going to look like this when we have a massive sell right around the corner. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think we're going to see at least the 4-hour RSIs have been shown. I think they're going to reset. We'll go over the indices right after this, right? But then what do we have over here? TSM. Actually, one I pussied out of earlier today. I did the same with NVDA. It's okay. But, I'm just going to say, guys, this thing was the retest of the inverse head and shoulders neckline. We were aware of this. Now you reclaim that daily 9. If you get a daily close above there in an hour from now, guys, this thing very well could just start pushing back up. We know 193.47 is likely. This was the plan all along. All right. I know buyers, they took a little while here. You got right underneath their zone, but hey, you still really defended it. Okay. Now you look at Avgo. Now, this is one of those charts that makes me think, okay, it depends what we see tomorrow. It really depends what we see tomorrow. This is rejecting the 9 from underneath, but, it's also right on it. And it looks like, this is kind of the perfect spot to find buyers. We were pointing out this spot before it happened. You pull back into it. I said I'd really like it on this, trend line retest and the retest of the double bottom neckline. That is between 172.42 and 166.85. Where did we like it up to from there? Up to here. Up to 185.16, a new all-time high. It looks freaking juicy. That is that. Okay, so this is what I was saying. We have a lot of charts that don't suggest we're about to fall off a cliff. And we could, even here on the 4-hour time frame, you can even see bullish structure showing up. And that's, not on the daily time frame. But like, this looks bullish, guys. This actually looks really bullish right here. All right, I actually really like this. Really like this. Okay, so that's that. I think it's time to start loading up on these swing trades, guys. November cons. You're gonna have to eat them juice premiums, but give yourself time, and your win rate is going to go up. We know we're probably gonna see buyers step in between here and somewhere all the way down here. Maybe you suffer some, maybe you're sitting in the red for like a week. Oh, do you care if you have 1.5 to 3 months on it? No, you don't. Okay, because at the end of the day, it's going to be back up here to 190, and then you're up 100%. All right, so 50 to 100%, depending on what contracts you're grabbing. Okay, but November cons, you get back up here. That's kind of how you're looking. All right, perfect spot over here. Perfect spot. Okay, AMD, what's happening? You're right at this downtrend. You can get slammed down. You definitely can. We saw SPY getting slammed down right at its freaking 15-minute downtrend today. That thing was annoying, but I'm just gonna, and that was only annoying because I was looking at the chart in a bullish way. In reality, if I just flip the chart, all right, just literally flip the chart, well, that was an uptrend. And if I saw the uptrend price coming into the uptrend, hey, all right, I would have said, hey, we're about to get a reaction here. We don't know which way it's gonna break, but in my mind, I'm like, this thing looks like it's gonna break out. It did not. Okay, in reality, you did not break above this high over here. You did not have a trend change over here on the 15-minute time frame. Bears have remained in control today. That's why I still think there is a solid shot we're going to come down here to 565.16. I really do. It looks weak to me. All right. You could also see, like I said, on the daily time frame, you're rejecting this daily 9 right here. You have this in right here. You have not been able to test that freaking level. I want to see it tested. I really do. All right. And then, I know we're just jumping around in this video, but then I'll point out over here on VIX. Well, what happens if VIX gets crushed from here and comes back to retest right there? That means the market is going to at least get that dead cat bounce and reset a bunch of those 4-hour RSIs. And then from that point, we're expecting buyers to step back in over here on VIX. And then maybe we go like that. Maybe we have some volatility in October, guys. All right. How things are shaping up is we very well could get a pop and a drop. Now, I talked to my buddy on my new buddy over there on Twitter today, John. I don't know. He probably doesn't watch these videos. No, John is he is a vet in this market game. John has 20 plus years of experience, maybe even more. And he made a post saying that the market is coiled up and ready for a 4% move or so on SPY. And I was curious to, how did someone get that accuracy there? How are you making this precise call? All right. So I asked, and he told me what he drew his thesis on, and he went back and back tested ever since the options were introduced into the stock market. Okay, so ever since the game that we talk about so often, the options game, ever since this crazy volatile freaking, monster in the market was introduced, every single election year, we've seen between 10:06 and 10:30. Okay, so a 23-day period, 24-day period there. You have seen at least a 3% drop on SPY between those dates. That is what he told me. I have not gone back to back tested myself, but I kind of do want to go back to back tested myself, and that got me thinking about this. What if we literally just see a pop on the indices? That would be a move down on the VIX and then a drop. A pop followed by a decent drop that scares the crap out of a lot of people in October, and then market goes right back up. I wouldn't be surprised with how everything's shaping up here. And that would mean things like this. Okay, like Microsoft over here. We could just see this move right here. Let's put on extended hours. Okay. We could see this move up here. And maybe you reject this trend line again, and maybe you get slammed down, and you actually do get a move down. And then from that point, we have what I think I pointed out in yesterday's video, which was a massive head and shoulders pattern that everyone and their mother is going to be looking at. And, we know that's a recipe for, A, it's not going to play out. But hey, maybe price does have a big sell over here and we get a massive opportunity and people are like, oh, the market's actually going to crash. And then you're going to buy that. Okay. So I'm just pointing out some scenarios, how we could be, doing this. I'm just connecting some context clues here. I like to call it the bigger picture point of view. Been calling it that for 1 to 2 years on this channel. It will not change. I love having the bigger picture point of view because guys, we cover the top traded tickers. Like literally, these are the top traded tickers every single day. And that means we have hidden insights from each one of these charts. I've charted these things enough times to know that, some things just suggest certain things. And when we have a lot of them suggesting these certain things, yeah, that's a recipe for it's probably going to be taking place. Okay. Now, I'm just going to show you on QQQ. We could have a spillover here. You got a little head and shoulders pattern going on right here. We could have a spillover. People are going to lose their mind. But in the end, 4-hour RSI, it's going to be over here. Okay, it is going to be over here. I do not think we are starting another wave down. I do not. The market literally just had this volatility right over here. Just had this volatility right over here. It is now just broken out of that. You come over here to SPY, and we haven't even had our move yet. Again, people are going to lose their minds if it pulls back here. That is going to be your buying opportunity. Come over here to the 4-hour time frame. RSI, it's not oversold by any means, but we could see when it gets oversold, we typically get these bounces. Okay, it could be a small bounce like that. I'm thinking it's not going to be a small bounce like that. I think it's going to probably be something like this. 4-hour RSI, you spill down here, maybe around 560. People, again, they're going to lose their minds. And then what are we going to have? We're going to have a nice big old wick like this. I'm just going to point out, you had this, could have had something like that. Okay, again, people are going to lose their minds. But what if we just had a wick right back down to the bottom of the zone and then it goes back up? It would be picture perfect, ladies and gents. Picture freaking perfect. So that's honestly, that's the base case for me. All right, get a move down here. Let's get bought up. Okay. All right. And, just because, I'm just showing these 4-hour RSIs, you come down here, this is going to be down here. You come down here, this is going to be down here. You come on IWM down here into this golden pocket, the big 212.25 spot, then reality is just the massive weekly level over here that you're consolidating above. You come back down into that spot, this 4-hour RSI is going to be oversold, just like when you started getting your divergence over here, and then you got a big boy bounce. Okay. Same thing over here. You got oversold. I know you had a little spill over there, guys. That's why I say I wouldn't be trading this thing short term. I'd be doing what I said earlier in the video. All right. Who cares if you got 1.5 to 3 months on your contracts? That's how I like it. And that's, the method that's not going to stress your crap out. It's not going to make you all stressed out and stuff. Okay. You're going to know, you know what the odds are here because we're going over the odds. Okay. And on that dip, the odds are in your favor. If you just sit there on your hands and freaking wait like a patient human being, and then you win. Okay. That is typically how, we see this kind of setup happen if you were taking advantage of it and you were buying, We'll just say 2 to 3 months. So I don't have to say 1.5 months. But, you know, November 15 expiration, I think you probably get bought up into it. I think maybe we see a dip here and then followed by the rip. I think it's possible. Or maybe we get, you know, a rip. And we get something like that. And something like that. And everyone, again, loses their freaking minds. And we see a VIX spike there. All right. And then, I don't know. Just going over possibilities here. Okay. But, you know, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk to you guys about today. We, you know, again, we are at these pivotal points in these charts, guys. You know, break and retest spot over here. 4-hour RSI. It's not oversold yet. But, you know, you come down into this golden pocket. It's going to be oversold at 130. All right. You got MU over here. MU is still bouncing off that daily 9. We said, you know, if it doesn't hold here, it probably is coming all the way back down there. But so far, it is holding up there. Over AMD, it's right at the downtrend. You got AVGO, right at the neckline over here. TSM, bouncing off the neckline, already has reclaimed that daily 9. We just got to get a daily close in 58 minutes from now. NVDA already reclaimed that daily 9 and broke out from the bull flag. It's looking bullish. SMH, how we looking? Not the best. Okay, you're right on it. So, you know, I'm gonna leave it at that, guys. We have, you know, a pivotal point here in a lot of these charts, and they suggest that we could see some more downside, but it's probably not too much downside. I'd say it's a buying opportunity. And honestly, I really like Tesla and Microsoft. I do. And, you know, I do have a habit of seeing the weak one and, you know, in my mind thinking, oh my God, that's so much better. It's so much more beautiful than all of these things with strength in the same sector. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. That's just, you know, that is a habit of mine. But at the end of the day, we do catch a lot of bottoms going off of that mentality. But you know what? Do what you will. I'd say this is a nice dip buy spot. And, you know, if it does start flushing down, there will be that. But you're probably at least going to be getting these types of bounces here. All right. And it doesn't even have to be $20. Okay. It could be like $10. Okay. You see this bounce right there, $14. This one was massive. All right. And then you really started turning things around. And this is why I think we're going to get a higher low over here. It already has made the higher high. This is the chance for the higher low. Okay. Well, you technically had your higher low right here and then you broke up. But, you know, now you're in an uptrend. But yeah, I'd say odds are in Bull's favor right around here. That is what I'm going to leave the video at, guys. Bitcoin's not looking the best. I still think it could spill down there. It was not faked out by that rally there. MSTR is still top watch. If it does pull back, we got the alerts. I'll let you know about it. All right. With that being said, ladies and gents, I will catch y'all in the next one. You know, and I didn't even show DIA, but, you know, DIA, if it pulls back to that big weekly break and retest spot we pointed out, you have the weekly 9 MA there, just like over here. It's a perfect freaking spot. All right. 4-hour RSI is going to be oversold. We have a recipe here for a dip followed by a rip, in my personal opinion. All right, guys, I will conclude this video with that. With that being said, I appreciate y'all. Everybody have a lovely rest of your day, and I will catch you tomorrow. Peace.